The book of Ecclesiastes, one of the wisdom books in the Bible, offers profound insights into the complexities of human existence and the pursuit of meaningful life. Its authorship is ascribed to King Solomon, renowned for his wisdom. The third chapter of Ecclesiastes, in particular, presents a philosophical reflection on life's diverse seasons, the inevitability of change, the quest for purpose, the shared mortality of all creatures, and the importance of embracing the present moment. Let's dive in. Verse 1. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. This verse suggests that every event, condition, and action in our lives has its own designated time or period. The notion of time here isn't just chronological, it's also a philosophical and divine concept, suggesting a grand design or plan in the cosmos. We might not always understand this plan, but we are encouraged to trust in its orderliness. Verse 2. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot. The verse underscores the natural cycles of life and death, growth and decay. It highlights our experiences as humans, pointing out that there are times when we bring forth life, symbolized by birth and planting, and times when we confront the end of life or change, symbolized by death and uprooting. Verse 3. A time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build. This verse juxtaposes two sets of seemingly contradictory actions, signifying that there are periods when drastic measures like killing or tearing down might be necessary, in self-defense or tearing down old, ineffective structures, for instance. It also assures us that after such times, there are periods for healing and rebuilding, offering a sense of balance and hope. Verse 4. A time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. In this verse, the author contemplates the emotional spectrum of human experience. It reassures us that it's natural to experience periods of sorrow and joy, mourning and celebration. Both extremes of these emotions are part of being human and are equally valid. Verse 5. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. This verse examines the contrasting activities of scattering and gathering stones, which might symbolize periods of destruction and construction, or chaos and order. Similarly, it acknowledges times when we might need to be close to others, to embrace, and times when we might need solitude or separation, to refrain from embracing. Verse 6. A time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away. This verse recognizes the human endeavor of seeking, which can refer to different things like knowledge, truth, or a purpose. However, it also mentions the time to stop searching, indicating the acceptance of certain realities or the need to let go. The duality of keeping and discarding suggests discernment in holding onto what is valuable and letting go of what is no longer beneficial. Verse 7. A time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak. This verse brings forward the idea of contrasts yet again. Tearing and mending could represent personal growth or social changes, suggesting there are moments for breaking away from old habits or traditions and moments for healing or reconciliation. The reference to silence and speech implies discernment in our communication, acknowledging there are times when silence is wiser or more respectful, and times when we must express ourselves or speak the truth. Verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. In this verse, the author uses the extremes of human emotional and social experiences. Love and hate are powerful emotional states, and war and peace represent societal conflict and harmony. The verse doesn't endorse hate or war but acknowledges their existence as part of the human experience, while subtly encouraging us to strive towards love and peace. Verse 9. What do workers gain from their toil? This question invites us to consider the purpose and value of our work. It does not imply that work is meaningless, but rather encourages us to contemplate on the meaning and benefits derived from our labor beyond material gain. Verse 10. I have seen the burden God has laid on the human race. Here, the author may be referring to the challenges and difficulties of human existence, including our search for purpose and understanding, and our struggles with life's contradictions and transiency. It's a call for reflection on the burdens we bear in life. Verse 11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. This verse provides reassurance amidst the previously mentioned struggles. It suggests that each event, regardless of our perception, has its own beauty and place in the grand scheme of things. The phrase, set eternity in the human heart, could be referring to our innate longing for permanence or our quest to understand the universe and our place within it. The last part acknowledges the mystery and unfathomable nature of divine actions and plans. Verse 12. I know that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and to do good while they live. This verse ends on a hopeful and encouraging note. It advises that despite life's complexities, our best course is to seek happiness and contribute positively to the world in our lifetime. It emphasizes on simple but profound actions, to be happy and to do good, as guiding principles in life. Verse 13. That each of them may eat and drink, and find satisfaction in all their toil, this is the gift of God. This verse asserts the importance of finding joy and satisfaction in our everyday lives, especially in our work. It acknowledges the reality of toil, but encourages us to derive pleasure from it as a divine gift. It encourages an attitude of gratitude, regardless of how mundane or challenging the work may seem. Verse 14. I know that everything God does will endure forever, nothing can be added to it and nothing taken from it. God does it so that people will fear Him. The verse presents the concept of the enduring and unalterable nature of divine actions. It's a reminder of the omnipotence and perfection of God's works. The term fear in this context generally means to have reverence or awe for God, rather than fright. Verse 15. Whatever is has already been, and what will be has been before, and God will call the past to account. This verse invokes the concept of timelessness, suggesting that past, present, and future are interconnected in God's grand design. It hints at the cyclical nature of existence and the consistency of God's justice, affirming that God will judge or evaluate past actions. Verse 16. And I saw something else under the sun, in the place of judgment, wickedness was there, in the place of justice, wickedness was there. Here, the author candidly observes the reality of evil and injustice in the world. The place of judgment and place of justice are likely references to earthly institutions, and the verse acknowledges that they can be corrupted by wickedness. Verse 17. I said to myself, God will bring into judgment both the righteous and the wicked, for there will be a time for every activity, a time to judge every deed. This verse connects with the theme of divine justice. Despite earthly injustices, it asserts a belief in ultimate divine justice, where both the righteous and the wicked will face judgment. It reaffirms the opening assertion of the chapter that there is a designated time for everything, including judgment. Verse 18. I also said to myself, as for humans, God tests them so that they may see that they are like the animals. This verse introduces the idea of life as a test from God, aimed to show humans their own mortality and animal-like nature. It can be seen as a humbling reminder of our physical existence and limitations, asserting that despite our unique human capabilities, we share the fundamental realities of birth, survival, and death with all creatures. Verse 19. Surely the fate of human beings is like that of the animals, the same fate awaits them both, as one dies, so dies the other. All have the same breath, humans have no advantage over animals. Everything is meaningless. This verse stresses on the mortality that humans share with all other creatures. It confronts our common destiny of death, implying that in the face of mortality, many of our pursuits may seem meaningless. The intent here is not to promote despair, but to cultivate a sense of humility and perspective on our existence. Verse 20. All go to the same place, all come from dust, and to dust all return. This verse extends the previous one by reiterating the shared origin and destiny of all creatures. The reference to dust is an echo of the creation narrative in Genesis, underscoring the cycle of life and death. It reminds us of our transient nature in the physical world. Verse 21. Who knows if the human spirit rises upward and if the spirit of the animal goes down into the earth? This verse introduces a speculative query about the afterlife. It's expressing uncertainty about what happens to the human spirit and the spirit of animals after death. The directionality of upward for humans might hint at a hope or belief in an elevated state after life, contrasting with the down into the earth for animals, but it is intentionally left ambiguous. Verse 22. So I saw that there is nothing better for a person than to enjoy their work, because that is their lot. For who can bring them to see what will happen after them? In the face of mortality and uncertainty about the afterlife, this verse suggests that one should find joy in their work and the present moment, as that's the part of life within our control. It proposes enjoyment of our labor as a way of creating meaning in life, and it underlines the value of being present, as the future remains unknown and out of our control. Ecclesiastes 3 uses poetic language to depict the various stages and emotions that humans experience throughout their lives, highlighting that each has its appropriate time under heaven. The passage goes on to discuss the ultimate reality of death that awaits all living creatures and the uncertain fate of the human spirit post-death. The author concludes with an encouragement to enjoy one's work, as this is a part of life within our control and a potential source of joy and meaning. Let us draw wisdom from these verses. Let us embrace life's changing seasons, understanding that each phase has its place and purpose. Let us approach our daily tasks with a sense of joy and gratitude, finding meaning in our work. And finally, let us ponder on our mortality, not with fear, but with a perspective that guides us to live fully and conscientiously in the present, for that's what truly is within our grasp. Thank you for joining us in this deep dive into Ecclesiastes 3. We hope you found it enlightening. If you appreciated this video and want to keep exploring the Bible with us, please hit that like button and share this video with others who might find it beneficial. Remember, if you have any questions or insights you'd like to share, we encourage you to leave a comment below. We love engaging with our community. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, so you won't miss our future videos. Join us next time as we continue to uncover the wisdom in the scriptures. Thanks for watching, and have a blessed day.